Hey guys, I hope you're ready for another crochet tutorial. Okay, so today I'm going to show you how to make these hats. You can put a bow around them, it's optional. You can put the bow in the back or in the front if you want, or no bow at all. This is just a quick and easy sun hat. I also have tutorials on how to make these complete outfits. If you're interested, please check them out in the description. So without further ado, let's get started on making this hat. For this project, I'm using a 5.5 millimeter crochet hook and a medium number 4 weight yarn. Let's begin with a slip knot. Go ahead and do a slip knot, however you prefer, and then we'll slide it onto our hook. Okay, and then we're going to go ahead and chain 4. So to chain, you simply yarn over, pull through. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and now we're going to go to the very first chain that we did, and we're going to insert our hook into it, and then we're going to yarn over and do a slip stitch. So that just means that we're going to pull through everything, and now we have a loop and we're ready to begin. So to start out, I'm going to chain 2. So there's 1, 2, and this is going to count as my first double crochet. And now I'm ready to begin my next double crochet. So to double crochet, I'm going to yarn over first, and then I'm going to take my hook and I'm going to insert it into the very center of the loop that I just made. My tail end, I'm going to kind of work in around it as well. So now I'm yarning over and I'm pulling through the loop. I come out and I have 3 loops on my hook, and I yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. I'll do that with you again. So yarn over first, insert your hook into the loop, yarn over, come out of the loop. There are 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. We're just going to repeat that all the way around. So we want a total of 9 double crochets plus that chain 2 that we started with. So we're going to have a total of 10 all the way around. Okay, so once we have 10 stitches, so 9 plus our chain of 2, I'll show you what to do next. I'm going to zoom in here. So you can see we're going to go to the top of that first chain that we did. So right here, so the very next stitch after the chain, and then we're going to yarn over, and then we're going to pull through everything. So all that is a slip stitch. So we have a cute little circle, and that is the end of our round 1. So now we're ready to start our round 2. So we can go ahead and chain 2 again, 1, 2, and that's going to count as our first double crochet again. And then we're going to do another double crochet, so into that space right here. Okay, so that counts as 2 double crochets into 1 stitch, and now we'll jump to the next stitch. So in every chain, so our chains around our loop, we're just going to do 2 double crochets. So that's what round 2 is going to be, is 2 double crochets into every stitch. Okay, I'm going to zoom out for you a little bit, and then I'm going to speed up, and I'll meet you when I'm finished with round 2. Okay, so I've counted my stitches, and once you get to the end, you should have 20. I have 21. So I'm looking right here. I accidentally put 3 double crochets into one stitch. So I'm going to undo my work and frog it and fix that. Okay, so I fixed it, and now I'm sure that I have 20 stitches. I'm ready to complete the end of round 2. So again, I'll go to the very top of that chain 2 we did to start the round. I will insert my hook, and then I'm going to yarn over and pull through everything. So all that is a slip stitch. So round 2 is complete, and we're ready to start on round 3. So we're going to start it the same way we've started the 2 previous rounds. We're going to chain 2. So there's 1, 2. So now round 3 is going to be a pattern of 2 double crochets into 1 stitch. So that chain 2 is going to count as 1 double crochet for our first stitch. And then in the next one, I'm just going to do a single crochet. Or sorry, I'm going to do 1 double crochet. That could be confusing. And then in the next one, I'll do 2 double crochet. So this entire pattern, all we're going to do is double crochets the whole time, which makes it super easy for beginners. Okay, now this one, I'll just do 1 double crochet. So just repeat that pattern all the way around. So in every other stitch, do 1 and then do 2. So I'm going to meet you once I have completed round 3, and it should lay flat once you're all done. So if you started with your 2 stitches, then your last stitch should just be 1 if you counted correctly, and that'll finish off our round 3. So again, finish the same way that you did before. Find the top of those chain 2s, insert your hook, yarn over, and pull everything through with a slip stitch. And so there's your round 3 looking flat. Okay, so now for round 4, we want it to continue to be flat, so we're going to continue to increase as we go, but we don't want it to fan out, we just want it to be flat. So I'm going to start with my chain 2 like I have been doing, and then I'll go into that same space with a double crochet, and now I'm just going to do 1 double crochet into the next 3 stitches. So there's 1, this will be 2, and here's 3. Okay, so then in the next one, I'm going to do 2 stitches to keep my increase and to keep my hat looking flat. And that's going to be our pattern. So 2 into 1 space, just 1 3 times into 1 space, and then 2. So now I'm going to do 1 stitch into the next 3 stitches. Okay, and then in this next one, I am going to do 2 double crochets into the same stitch. Okay, so just repeat that pattern all the way around, and I'll meet you once we have completed round 4. Okay, so once you've done your last 2, then you should have 2 more spaces left, or you can just do 1 single double crochet, meaning just 1 double crochet. Okay, and then you'll finish off the same way that we have all the other rounds. You'll find the top of that chain, you'll insert yarn over and pull through everything, creating a slip stitch. So that's going to be the end of round 4. We are curving a tiny bit, which is great because this is a hat and we do want it to fit around the head, but for the most part it's pretty flat. So you should have 38 stitches once you've completed round 4. Now we're ready to begin round 5. Alright, so for round 5, we're going to start with a chain 2. And this time we're not going to do any more decreasing because we want our hat to curve in right here and make the hat shape. So what we're simply going to do is just do 1 double crochet into every stitch. So pretty simple. There's 1, there's another one, and you'll notice that it will start to curve in, making our hat shape as you keep going all the way around. So I'm going to let you do this on your own. When you finish, you should have 38 stitches in round 5. So round 5 complete with a slip stitch, and then round 6 is going to be the exact same. So chain 2 and then do 1 double crochet into every single stitch. So as you do your round 6, this is when you really start to see the shape of your hat forming. And again, once you complete your round 6, go to the very top of that chain 2 where you started, do your slip stitch, and we're ready to start round 7. Round 7 is where we're gonna do these little window holes so that our ribbon or whatever we want to put as the band of our hat fits in. So again, I'm going to start out with chaining 2, and then in my first stitch I'm going to go ahead and do a double crochet, and I'll do that in 3 stitches. So I'll have my chain and then 2 double crochets, and then I'm going to go ahead after I have those done is do a chain 1, and then I'm going to skip a stitch, and then I'm going to double crochet in the very next stitch. So this is going to be my pattern, and that'll give me little windows to run my ribbon through. So I'll do 2 more just double crochets, okay, and then chain 1, and then skip a stitch, and then start with your next double crochet in the next stitch. Okay, and then as you make your way around, you'll come to the end, and your pattern is not gonna turn out evenly, so like you can't end with a space and then 3. But this is okay because this is where our tie is gonna go. So instead of trying to make another hole, just finish off this end with just 1 double crochet in every stitch, and then we'll put the bow in front of that area. So I created a total of 9 windows all the way around, and then I have kind of a flat surface here as I come around to complete my round, and then I'm just going to finish it off with a slip stitch, and now we are ready for our next round, which we're just going to start with a chain of 2, and then we're going back to what we've done with our previous rounds. So just 1 double crochet in every single stitch all the way around, even where our little windows are, so we can just go actually in the window there to grab that stitch, and then through this stitch, and once you get to the next window, just go ahead and go through the window, and we will complete this round. And once you completed your round, go ahead and go to the top of the chain, do a slip stitch, and now we're ready to begin our brim. So our brim is also going to be double crochets. We're going to start with a chain of 2, and then we're going to do a double crochet just in the front loop only, for our brim. Okay, so there was in our first one, and then here's our second one. We're going to yarn over first, so you can see how there's 2 strings here, front loops only, and then we're going to do a pattern of, sorry, that was kind of loosey-goosey, we'll do that again. All right, so it's going to be a pattern of 1 double crochet in one stitch and then 2 double crochets in the next. So there was 2 in that one, and in this one I'm just going to do 1, and then you get the idea. And the next one we'll do 2, and we'll just repeat that pattern all the way around, only in the front loops, and it will start to make our brim. So this is what it looks like after the first round of our brim. It's turning out super cute. So now we're ready to finish off, and we'll just finish the same way we have before. Go to the very top of that first chain where you started, do a slip stitch, and now we're ready to chain 2 again. And now we can begin the second round of our brim, which is just going to be 1 double crochet into every stitch all the way around. So your brim should lay flat, and that's pretty simple. So I'll meet you when I'm done with this round. Okay, so this is what it looks like as you complete the second round of the brim of your hat. This is cute. Like, we could stop here and this could just be our hat. I'm gonna go ahead and do another round and do a flowy sun hat. So you'll just find again the very top of that chain, do a slip stitch, and then chain 2 to start your next round. And then this round is just going to be 2 double crochets into every stitch, and that's going to give it the wave look. So I did 1 in that stitch, and then I'll do 2 in that stitch, and you'll just repeat that in every stitch all the way around, and I'll meet you when we're finished. And once you've made it all the way around, just go ahead and go into the next stitch and do a slip stitch, and then pull your work through and tie it off, and you've completed your hat. Then you can thread your tail end with a needle, and you'll just weave your tail end in one direction, pull it all the way through, and then kind of pull it loose, and then send it back the other direction, and then one more time the other direction. And then it shouldn't go undone, and you can go ahead and just snip off the excess. You can do the same thing with your beginning thread. Okay, and this is what our final hat looks like with all the tails sewn in. Now we're going to get ready to do the band. Okay, so for our band, we're going to start with a slip knot, and then we're going to slide it onto our hook, and then we're going to go ahead and chain. So just yarn over and pull through. We're going to make a chain of 100. Once you have your chain of 100, then we are going to count to the third stitch from our hook. So we're going to skip 2 stitches, and in the third we're going to yarn over. We'll insert our hook into that space, and we'll do a double crochet. So we'll yarn over, pull through, and then just go ahead and complete our double crochet, and then we're going to put a double crochet into every stitch, and that's all our band is going to be made of, is just double crochets. So you'll go ahead and do that in all your stitches. Okay, and this is what your band should look like. And just go ahead and keep going until you get them all finished. Once you get to the very end, we will complete our very last double crochet, and then I'm going to go ahead and do a chain of 2, and then bring that back into the very first stitch that I did, and then simply do a slip stitch, and then I can take my yarn and pull it through, pull everything tight, and then I'll grab my scissors and we can snip it off and then detach it from my working yarn. And then we'll go ahead and grab a needle real quick and we'll just weave in those ends, both of them. We'll do it in one direction, and then we'll go ahead and do the other direction and weave them both in until everything is nice and tight. Okay, and then our last and our final step is to attach our band on our hat. So here's where we have that flat space. So you're going to start with here, and we'll just weave in those little windows that we made. Kind of pull through. Okay, so I've made it all the way around, and then you kind of want to pull your tail end so that these are even, and then just kind of make sure pull everything a little bit loose and flatten out your band. Make sure nothing is twisted. Okay, and then you can bring them together, and then we're ready to make our bow. So it's long enough that you could actually just tie it in a bow if you wanted to. But I don't really like that look. I think it's kind of chunky. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a piece of thread and we're gonna find approximately the middle, which is right here, and I'm just gonna thread it through like so, and then I'm gonna take my ends like this and kind of overlap them, and then I'm gonna take that string that I just pulled through and I'm gonna tie it around them. So just take and make a knot, and once you're sure that it's the right thickness, you can tie it tighter. You don't want it to be too tight though. Okay, so I'm going to double tie it, and then I will take these tail ends and make a loop with both of them like so. And then again, I will take this tie and just wrap it around, and then I can tie it. And then you can kind of adjust so it looks like a bow. You might even want to like twist these to get it like a little bit three-dimensional. One side's this way, one side's this way. You can kind of play with it and get it how you want, and then once you have it how you want, you'll just pull it tight, and then you can take these back through your hat in the same spot. Like so, pull it through, and we'll just do one more knot in the back, and you could weave these in or just go ahead and snip them off, which is what I'm going to do, and they're going to be on the inside of your hat so nobody will see that. So there's your bow. And now our hat is totally and completely officially done. Thank you so much for watching. I hope your hat turned out. If you are interested in making the rest of the outfit that Julia is wearing, including this crocheted skirt and top, be sure to check them out.